How do you get here so quick, man? Do you have, like, some kind of bat signal when I start streaming? Because you got here within, like, 30 seconds. I didn't even do a Discord announcement. You get here so quick. You're like the cats when at my job, when I even gestured towards the kitchen where the food is. Like, they all get up. Doesn't matter how knocked out they are. I don't understand how you get here so quick. I've been up for like 2 minutes. And like part cat.
ビクターから伝えたとなぜ今になキコーラがここまでたどり着けるか確信がなキコーラが用し今でも少なくとも準備ができたな
I don't believe you. You get here way too quick. It's like when I feed Archie at my job and I don't even open the can. They see me gesture towards the cat food cans, and then they're all excited, even though they already had a big meal. That's what you do. I didn't drop an announcement because this might actually be a short stream. There's not much of the game left. It's pretty much end game.
ドラゴンルイン次元が完全に崩壊しているな
This patch seems pretty good so far. Oh no, not a gimmick section. No. Oh, we gotta copy the worst part about Platinum games. Why? Just give me the bots. This game definitely is like too long. This is definitely one of those games that would benefit from being shorter. I just can't stand stuff like this, man. Anything to make this game longer. Just want the final battle already. There's like no reason why this can't be a cutscene. Hope this ends soon. Come on, end. Very thrilling. Interactive cutscene. Looks nice, but has the depth of a puddle. It sucks. I'm gonna drag this out as long as possible. Instead of just, you know, ending. Alright, cool. This is a nice interactive set piece. Let's end it now. and get back to normal gameplay. Like how I spent all that time changing my build and then I don't even get to play. Stuck in a movie. Yes, please catch up and end this. This part still runs like shit. Runs like garbage. I want it to be over. This game definitely feels like it's way longer than it should be. Not because of my personal preferences of just shorter games that are more replayable, but like because you already fought this boss at the beginning. Like the attacks are different, but it's the same boss. Like worried they were gonna get bad scores if the game was too short. I'm like, well, people that actually like these games and don't just play them because they're new or popular want shorter playthroughs. Don't want padding like this. I think so, yes. More gimmick bosses. Why do people like big bosses like this? They're not fun. Just a chore. Tired of this shit. I mean, they should be giving you a lot of stamina at the beginning, right? I mean, I don't know what your stance is on spending money on the game, but if you're worried you can't get him in time, you can always buy the serum bundle. It's like $8. I think the game is worth spending money on, personally, if you're liking it so far, anyway. This boss, all this boss does is run away. Just die. Please. Run so bad too. Just end. Boring boss fight. Barely even a boss fight, it's just a puzzle. Just die, please. I swear, man, they just will not end this game. It just keeps going and going and going.
随分と弱くなった。
Alright, just die. Get back to normal gameplay.
そのようになってしまった。
Great, I have to do this again. Just have no gimmick boss fights. Just a normal boss. Please. I hate stuff like this, man. It's just time wasting. It's not actually playing the game. Can't even, like, barely use any of the mechanics. Because it's too big. Come on, just die. Do anything but end this game when it should end. It should have ended like 10 hours ago. I like how every game has to be like 400 hours long now. It's often at the expense of the gameplay. Almost always. Oh, come on, man. This boss is garbage. Just die. There's like no reason for this to not be a cutscene. I only want you to watch our... I want you to play our barely interactive boss fight. Worst kind of boss where you're barely even playing the game. It's just a big spectacle, but it's not fun. Pat should remove this boss fight. I'm not cool enough to do that. Just get rid of this shit. Really don't understand why they all... character action games always, like, take the worst inspiration from Platinum. Like, why? It's so much easier to make it better. Just get rid of stuff like this. And barely playing the game, you can't see anything. The boss is not fun to fight. But then they give it like 10 phases. It's like, why? Just don't do this. MMO boss. Yes, everything can't be as good as Assault Spy, which had no gimmick bosses. Short campaign that was replayable. Just never gonna get a game like that again. Everything's gotta be a gimmick, time wasting. This boss is just so irritating. Die! Every time you hit it, it runs away. So tired of this shit, man. Man, it runs like shit too. It's messing with my eyes. Just end. God. It's like they're capable of making good boss fights, but they have to put in this Tales of Arise garbage. Runs terribly. They still haven't fixed it. Just die, please. Stop running away. Oh my god, I hate this. Why is there a fail state other than losing all your health? Repeat this stupid auto-scroller boss over and over and over. Yeah, this boss is shit. hate stuff like this, man. Stop doing it.
攻撃を食らいすぎれば勝ち目はないぞ
It's like your health bar doesn't even matter. It's just a gimmick. Just fucking die. Give me a real boss fight. This garbage. This game is weird. They put like garbage bosses like this in when they're clearly capable of making a good boss. It's like, why?
我の力がどれほどかまさか忘れたというのか
No, is this the end? No, it's not the end. It can't be this simple. Yeah, you need to drag this out even more. The game will not end. It's like One Piece. One Piece boss. 2,000 episodes. I legit don't understand what it wants me to do. I'm very tempted to go download a trainer. Just die! Patch the game, get rid of this garbage boss.
かつての姿と比べると随分と弱くなったな
What am I doing
人
wrong?
間などと長く過ごすからそのようになってしまったの
How do I beat this shit boss? This is so irritating. Just end the game. Why can't anyone make a short game anymore? Like, why? Just make a 6-hour game that ends. No gimmick bosses. No one likes bosses like this, but they keep doing them. I don't understand. I want this game to end pronto. So fed up with this garbage ass boss. It's not even cool because it runs so poorly. If they could like optimize it properly, maybe it would be a little bit better. Slideshow. Can't optimize your lame gimmick boss, then maybe don't do it in the first place. Should just die right there, not come back. For a game that like ran out of money and had no resources, I don't know how they padded it out this much. Like, I do not understand. You think if you're struggling to make the game, then you would make it shorter. This game would be a lot better if it was shorter. You've lost arcade mentality. Everything has to be a 200-hour epic. I can't see anything and it runs like garbage. Every single time I go to hit it, it runs away. What purpose is there for that? To get back to normal gameplay, not this. More gimmicks. Can't just die. Yes, please end. Do not come back. Do not do a gimmick phase or anything. Just die. Shit boss fight. Yeah, no more. God, that was horrible. What was the point of that? What was the point of that? Can anyone tell me what the point of that was? This game does this a lot. Just, things that aren't fun, it forces you to do them. And it's like, can I just get back to normal gameplay instead of this?
素晴らしい。さあ、世にソウルクリスタルの破片を。貴様に破片を渡すと約束した覚えなどないぞ。だとしても、そうすることになる。
I think that's a boss I would totally turn a trainer on for. It's not fun.
通り、我が帝国軍は城壁の外の民を護衛している。約束した通りに。要点を話せ。破片を手放さないというならそれも良い。だが世の兵隊が守護者から処刑者となる。兵か。黙れ。わからぬのか。すべてのソウルクリスタルの破片が揃えば、世はこの世で最も強力な存在となるんだ。アラモンを倒し、人類を栄光に輝く新たな時代へと導いてやる。さあ、世にソウルクリスタルの破片を、飛行の下船の仲間、そして妹さえも死ぬことになるぞ。ケイサー、よせ。それだけはならん。必要な犠牲を払う覚悟なくして人の上には立てぬ。アラモンを倒すという気概が足りぬ。だが世は違う。アラモンを叩き潰し人類の希望の光となる。
Please don't turn into a big dragon. Normal human size, please. He has put me through torture. That garbage boss fight. Please. Yes. Keep your size in check, please. Please. Preferably something that takes its stun. Oh man. It kept your size in control. Everything in moderation, right? And don't turn into a big gimmick dragon, please. That would be great if you would not do that. I don't want to give another big gimmick boss a pedicure. I've done enough of that for 10 lifetimes today. Please no. No more big dragon pedicures today, please.
ありえねえよこそが最
You're gonna have a problem if you turn into a big gimmick boss.
Zana!
感を使う能力が厄介
楽しく行こ
活動せよ
Yeah, the protagonist in this is not very smart. I was actually expecting him to, like, try to trick him in some way, like give him a, you know, replica or something, but no, he's just an idiot. He doesn't want this game to end. He doesn't want the game to end. Why would you give the guy the fragments? Like, what purpose is there to doing that? It's not like he's going to immediately become a good person. Hey, at least you can skip the cutscenes on your first playthrough now. That's one of the things they add in this patch. I think they realized that with all the tech issues and stuff, it's probably better to just let you skip the cutscenes. This game has, like, a very bad start. This game is good, but the start is actually pretty bad, to be honest with you. Start is mostly bad because you have a really scuffed moveset. They give you a really scuffed moveset for like the first couple gameplay components. It gives a bad first impression. I think that's one of the things they should fix next, is not give you the partial roll slop moveset. Because this game is not roll slop. It's not. Even at its worst, like that last boss fight I did, like the combat is quite good. But you don't get that impression playing it the first time. Because until you get the dragon to join your party, the game feels like a weird mix between roll slop and, you know, a character action game. what was the purpose of that? You could have just, like, killed him. Or tried to imprison him in some way. But you never know how imprisonment works in fantasy stories like this. You know, One Piece is pretty smart about that, right? Like, they can't go in water, and they have, like, handcuffs that suppress their powers. But, like, what was the purpose of that? He just knocked him out. He went down pretty quick. Guess it's just like you can't put a character like that with that level of power. You can't just put them in a cell, but you think there'd be like some kind of sealing spell or something. No, this is the end of the game right now. I didn't stream a lot of this because this game gets legit exhausting to play. This game is pretty exhausting, and not for good reasons. It really does overstay its welcome at the end. It just gets way too long in the tooth. This game is a good example of like how much games have been ruined by people have a really messed up perception of value with video games in general. Like, you know, I'll take a 6-hour game. I'll take a 6-hour game that I can constantly replay and has a very minimal amount of parts that make me want to shut it off, over something like this, which is about 20 hours, and there's many parts of this game where I don't want to play it anymore. But making a game like that is a very hard sell because everybody looks at things by dollars per hour. And like, I would rather have a short replayable game than something that's obviously trying too hard to keep going. Like, that's why the DMC5 campaign was the best, because it was 6 hours. 6 hours, it ended quick, there were like no gimmicks. The worst it got was playing as V, but honestly, you know, you could just not play as him. You can just mod him out of the game now, so I don't even really consider that to be an issue anymore, but that campaign was too good. This is taking inspiration from the worst places. This game needs to hit a runtime quota.
Liana.
1000年前今度はでも母さん全員が
そんなこと
母さんはあなたは母さん
リアナ、リアナ、
ドイドラックス
今までどうやって我にこうしてつながってきたの？
あなたを騙すつもりなんてなかった
Really glad I didn't stream this last night. I didn't know how much more padded this out this was going to be. game definitely feels like Kazan in a way. Kazan had the same problem this game does, where it didn't know when to end. And like they were clearly out of budget and time, but they still kept the game going. That's exactly what this game is like, but this game is far worse about it. Kazan didn't feel like it was too long. It was mostly just that they had like no unique boss fights left. Or not unique boss fights, but enemies. The enemy variety in Kazan kind of stopped after like the first half. This game, like, there's a pretty decent enemy roster in this game. Like, better than you expect for a character action game, but in the last half, that kind of just stops. There's like no more unique enemies. You fight the same elites over and over. They've only recycled this boss once, so it's fine. But yeah, the end of this game is really weird because, like, the levels that you go through look really nice, but they have no more budget for unique fights. You keep fighting the same elite enemies over and over, sometimes like multiple times in a level, I think. It's like I think you should end the game at that point. If you're out of new things for the player to experience, I think that's a good time to end the game. But it doesn't end. They tried too hard to make this a big game without the resources. I think like you could cut this game in half, and it would be a lot more replayable. That's just most games in a nutshell, though. It's hard to find a game that respects your time and, you know, ends when it's ready to end. So there's DT. I've already seen this cutscene, I just wanted to show that. You get your DT at the very end of this game, like the last like 30 minutes. Yeah, it's called Fusion Blast, but it's Devil Trigger. It is Devil Trigger. Don't anyone tell you otherwise. I'm gonna put frame generation on. That's exactly what I just said, Marcy. That's literally exactly what I just said. This game does not know when to end. Now see, if you've played this game to the end, you get really tired of the, just recycling enemies over and over. Yeah, they tried to make this an epic on a shoestring budget, and multiple challenges even getting the game out the door, which I think is this game's biggest mistake. They really should have just copied DMC5. That is the perfect length for a game like this. Marcy, that's just because video games all have to be 200-hour epics now. Nobody can make a short, concise game. That was a good combo. It actually gave me something that staggered for a change.
なぜそんな姿に？
山で急がない
言って。
Yeah, if this game could get down to like maximum 10 hours, but preferably like 6 to 8, I think it would be way more replayable. But it's very strange that this game has 2 difficulties, and the difficulties are like actually better than the average character action game, because there's stuff like you know, you can get upgraded gear, the boss fights change and stuff, but the game just doesn't feel like it's built for replay value. It's way too long. There's too many annoying puzzles and platforming that only feel like they're there to pad out the game. You know, because you could potentially get stuck on it for 10-20 minutes, and all that adds up. It's like, if you're gonna make 3 difficulties and like actually put more effort into them than the average character action game, where, you know, the main thing that changes is the enemy stats. Their HP, defense, and attack power is like the main thing that changes, then you should make the game shorter. But it really felt like they wanted this game to review well for the game journals, who, as much as we like to rag on them, I could definitely relate on having a lot of review keys and just not having enough time to give everything equal attention. And it feels like that's what they focused on. But that didn't work, though. That didn't work. They barely gave out any review keys for this. The embargo was like the day that it released. So people were already apprehensive towards buying this, because usually you can get early footage of a, you know, like at least a medium-sized game like this a couple days before release. Usually from a specialist channel like mine, if not a major publication like IGN. But they didn't do that. So it's like, I don't really understand why the campaign is designed the way it is. Like, if it's to please casual gamers and game journalists who don't have the time to, you know, play through this game 3 times, I mean, even with cutscene skips, playing through all the way through to Nightmare would probably take, like, at least 50 hours. I would imagine it's around there, maybe more. Yeah, I don't really understand what they were trying to do. It doesn't seem to make much sense. But, that's just modern video games for you in a nutshell. Modern video games do not know when to end. Everything has to be insanely long and drawn out, often to the game's expense.
怖いケイサー
あ
おい
いや俺みたいだがうちのメス誰かがみんなの子負けるぞ
よさあやるぞケイ
No, this game isn't bad at all. It's definitely gotten a lot better with the patches, but it's also like 60 bucks. And there's like a lot of really big games coming out, so I don't know if I can recommend this for $60. The Silk Song just came out and you can get that game for like 16 bucks. There's Daemon X Machina, which seems
待たせてくれ
about as average as this does. With like, you know, it's a good game, but
持ってきたよ
it needs patches and
私の
stuff.
計略通り
Borderlands 4 is next week,
何
like literally a week from today.
元々は廃墟するにやらせるつも
How
り
many
だ
people that play a more varied amount of types of games than I do are gonna like choose this at the price? I think the price point is definitely a big issue. A lot of publishers don't understand if you have like a mid-budget game like this. It's not a bad game at all. It's above average at worst. It's not as bad as people say it is, but when you price it at the same price point as a AAA game, it's going to come with expectations, right? If this game was $40, I think people would have been a lot more forgiving towards it, but it's not. It's AAA price.
やれやれ見覚えのある恥知らずども
And they're releasing this at a very stacked time,
破滅の
so
運命を
it's just one of those games that should have been shorter and cheaper, and I think people would have been more willing to give it a chance. Well, it's $60 and released in a very bad state, in a very crowded period for major games. So, yeah, that was a misstep for sure. But this game is not complete Kusage like people are saying it is. Don't listen to anybody who says it is. This patch today was a really big step in the right direction. So, they're going to continue to patch it, which he put out an announcement today saying that they're committed to patching it. You know, it'll probably just get better over time. I mean, I'm not buying Borderlands or Metal Gear. Those aren't my kinds of games, so I got time to wait. But I know people really want an overview. They want a combat overview because most of the major channels gaming channels just didn't even play the game and are just hating on it. So it's kind of my job to put out an overview. No, don't turn it to a gimmick boss, please. No. No. Please, no. No. Stay human-sized. Come on, no gimmick, man. Just die. Really gonna make me do this? What does it want me to do? Can you, like... Still invincible, by the way. I wish this game did not have that. Just turning invincible forever. Running away and turning invincible is not good boss design. Well, there's a couple things people misunderstood about this game. The first is that it wasn't actually in development for 9 years. He was working on it himself until 4 years ago. And then, you know, the team got up to like 40 people. But then COVID happened and made it harder to work in person. So, it's really only 4 years. But again, I feel like the price is part of the problem. You lower the price of a game like this by like a third, and suddenly people's expectations become more realistic. But when you price it with stuff like Elden Ring and things like that, people are going to be a lot less forgiving. That's the problem. It matters a lot more than people think. You know, Assault Spy is constantly on sale for like $5 and is a way more replayable game than this. The combat is good as well. It's like $5. Yeah, it's jank. It may not, 'll... have the best optimization, but it's $5. This costs 20 times as much. And is a lot worse put together in some ways, despite having a much larger budget and more people working on it than one guy. That game is way more replayable than this. Despite the combat actually being relatively similar in some ways. Like how the hit stun works in this game is pretty similar to Assault Spy. But game industry is all about maximizing profits, even when... Why is this so loud? It's all about maximizing profits, despite a game like this really needing to be lower priced. That people can look past its flaws when there aren't, like, more polished games that you can get at the same price point. But yeah, I enjoyed this game for what it was worth, but I think the replay value is kind of bunk. This is not a game that you can marathon, it's way too exhausting. But it is a fun game. And hopefully they'll continue to improve it. I mean, this patch was a good step in the right direction for sure. But it's still $60. There's like gimmick bloody palaces with like mutators, like Unreal or Quake. There's like mutators. But I don't think there's an actual just bloody palace. So that kind of sucks too, that they have like mutators instead of, you know, just spawn in an area and kill stuff, get rewards. But the New Game Plus of this game is actually pretty ambitious, with like actually giving you more build options and changing the boss fights and stuff. Like that part is really cool. I just think the game is too long for most people to even care. I would expect that like most people that play this game, if they even get to the point where they finish it once, they will not play it again. And a large chunk of that is because of how many other big games are coming out that people that aren't so fixated on action games are they're going to be playing that instead of this. So why the heck did they make it so long? I feel like I should have been able to finish this game like twice in the time this has taken. Hey, go see your sister. Nah, this game is a lot better than Bujingai. I remember renting that game. It was not very good. This game's consensus is really weird. People saying it's the worst game ever are lying. But at the same time, those people do have some constructive criticisms. But, you know, the content creators just say the game is terrible and they didn't even give it a chance. I feel that's part of the problem. Despite being one myself, content creators can really ruin a game's perception. And this game definitely got hit hard by that. Like, yes, it has problems. It is not the worst game ever made. Like, you can do a lot worse. You can do a lot worse than this, just in the small bubble of character action games. You can do a lot worse than this game, just in character action games. There are some really shitty character action games out there that no one's heard of. So saying this is the worst is just like people that are trying to get a reaction for money. They don't actually like their job as a content creator. They just want to incite drama to make money. It's not anywhere near that bad. It's really crazy that people are even entertaining the idea that that's true. But, again, the price is just too high. The price is too high for people to even want to give this a chance. Oh, watch Marcy. Borderlands 4 comes out in a week and runs worse than this game. They're still gonna say it's the best game ever. I know that they will. Because they have a narrative to push. Can make a lot more money off Borderlands videos than this game. That game is probably going to be another Unreal Engine 5 disaster. I'm not saying the game is bad. For somebody that doesn't like FPS games, that game actually looks pretty good. But I would bet money on it running worse than this game at launch. And they're still going to try to push the narrative that it's the best game ever. And I'm like, well, it barely runs. The deluxe edition of this is like twice the price of this. So, yeah, mark my words, that's going to happen. Because in my opinion, it doesn't matter if a game is good or not if it runs poorly. But that game's gonna have even worse performance than this, I'm sure. I would not be surprised at all. Like, the only Unreal Engine 5 game that ran well this year was Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate. They remade that game in Unreal Engine 5 and it runs like perfect, even on a Steam Deck. Like, those people actually understood the assignment. I don't expect a Gearbox to be able to reach that level of quality as a weeb trash Japanese beat 'em up with anime girls. But that was the good Unreal Engine 5 game this year. Speaking of which, they just put out DLC for that. We'll probably check that out tomorrow, or maybe tonight at work. They did put out a new character, and they did like a balance patch or something. I've just been busy with this, so I haven't gotten around to it yet, but that was a good Unreal Engine game. You can see right here, he was working on the game alone for a while. Alright, is the game gonna, like, fix itself, or what? Just the final middle finger? Is it gonna just crash? Alright, thank you. Thank you. Alright, so here's the clear save. Alright, well, I guess you just upgrade stuff now. Yeah, this was a good game. It definitely overstayed its welcome, but it was, definitely was a good game. I don't really think I could recommend it to anybody at this price point, though. I think they need to, patch it a bit more. But they did say after the patch today that they are going to be doing frequent updates. So if you like what you saw, despite me crashing out over some of those garbage boss fights. I'd say wait for a sale. By the time this game gets steeply discounted, it will probably be a lot easier to warrant buying. But right now, I totally could not fault anybody for wanting to wait. I think that is completely understandable. I guess it just depends on what you're looking for, but I mean, at the same time, Ninja Gaiden 4 is like a month and a half away, so... You know, there's going to be another character action game very soon. like, very soon. Like, pretty much, in a month. A month and a couple weeks. Hopefully that game's going to run well. Alright, so I guess what do I do now? I don't know if this game will get DLC. I'm not quite sure if it will. I mean, they seem committed to fixing it. This patch was a really big step in the right direction, but who knows how all that business goes down. I don't know if Sony was expecting this to meet a sales target and it didn't, because I mean, they can't be faulted for putting it out right next to Silksong, because they had already finalized the date for this months before Silksong was even given a release date. But it is still close to a lot of major games that are like the exact same price. So I don't know what their expectations were for this, what it was that they were expecting it to reach, but they are committed to patching it. So it's that classic single-player game problem of, like, I could go through this right now. I mean, I'm not buying Borderlands. I don't care about Metal Gear. I did get Silksong, but I'm not streaming it because that game is oversaturated and I don't know if I'll like it. I mean, I've got a pretty free schedule right now. But I have the problem of, like, every other single-player game that doesn't release in the best state, where it's like, do I play this now or wait until they make it better? And that's what really sucks about patch culture. I wish games would come out more stable and polished at the start instead of this whole maybe we'll fix it later kind of thing. But I'll probably go through hard mode for sure. But I can pretty much make the overview now, so that's pretty good. I think I'm done with this for now, though. It was a good game, but I would not recommend it at this price. Especially since this patch was pretty major. No, apparently they nerfed a lot of the platforming. I'm looking at the patch notes right now. They nerfed, like, almost all of the Kaizo platforming. Now, granted, I am pretty good at platformers. I mean, that's what I grew up with. I grew up with, like, Mega Man and Mario and, to a lesser extent, Sonic. So, I never got too stuck on it. But I can definitely see it being something that people would get stuck on. So they, like, nerfed all the platforming, apparently. I'm looking at the patch notes right now. People were complaining about the platforming. I'm like, you know, it's a valid complaint. But apparently they made the platforming better as well. Like, it controls better and everything. Oh, they're definitely committed to fixing it. Alright, well, what now? Do I stop the stream or keep going? I'm kind of a little bit exhausted after that, to be honest. But yeah, I cleared it. Took 20 hours. 20-hour clear. Ugh. Well, see, Alvy, that's the problem with patching single-player games like live service games. The people that buy it at launch get the worst experience, and people who buy it for $20 a year and a half later are getting a better experience. That's just the problem with, treating single-player games like service games, especially when they release in a pretty poor state like what I was just playing. I felt like that with Kazan. Kazan, I definitely felt like that because they kept adding cool stuff to it, but I only have like half a playthrough left, so it's like, I'm glad they're making the game better, but at the same time, I've kind of already done everything, so outside of starting the game from scratch or playing with mods, I don't really have anything left to do, but they keep making the game better. I've played countless games like that, where being a content creator kind of sucks, because people are expecting impressions at launch, but then the game gets like 4 times better later on. I think Lost Soulicide is totally one of those games. The thing that's going to benefit me with that game is, the content creators already condemned it to being this terrible Kusage waste of money, and it definitely isn't. It's nowhere near that quality, but what that means is they're not going to come back for patches. So if they keep improving it, I can definitely make some patch videos, and I'm glad I've got some footage on here of the game at release that I could probably turn into like a patch changes video later on. I'm glad that I have that, but I would not fault anybody for wanting to wait several months. Even if like the money or the time isn't an issue, you've got enough money to buy all the major games coming out these next few months, and you have the time. I just feel like they're going to keep making the game better, so you got to question if it's worth it. Shinobi... I finished Shinobi last week, and Shinobi definitely had its faults, but the amount of bugs and stuff were pretty minimal. The game didn't have any performance issues. I felt like the replay value was actually a lot worse than Lost Soulicide, because there's just like not really much to unlock. That's because we got like 2 character action adjacent games and like within 3 days of each other. I actually think Lost Soulicide is the better choice if you need a character action game this month and you can't wait for Ninja Gaiden. I think Lost Soulicide actually has more replay value, especially now that they've nerfed all the platforming. Shinobi just felt like they didn't know how to actually keep you playing the game because the rewards were garbage. I didn't stream it, but I went through all of the platforming challenges, which were quite a bit harder than anything in Lost Soulicide, and you get nothing for it, basically. The rewards are terrible. Shinobi really needs some kind of combat-focused mode, like a Bloody Palace or a survival mode with roguelike stuff, like Streets 4. I think that would really help that game a lot, but I don't really have a desire to go back and play it. Lost Soulicide, I definitely do want to play again. I might even start it later today. Yeah, Shinobi, despite being cheaper, actually has worse replay value. Ninja Gaiden 4, I'm hoping, is going to be good. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the stream so people can watch the end and hear my thoughts. And then I'll probably come back and we'll play something else. So, sit tight. I'll be